All right, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Word with Ty Brownlow. I am your host, Ty Brownlow. And remember, no one is worthless. No story is worthless. Today, ladies and gentlemen, I have a very, very special guest for you. All the way from Charleston, South Carolina. Please put your hands together for Miss Sherrika Myers. How are you?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
I am great. Thank you once again for coming on to the platform today. And we're going to talk about some stuff today, all right? And let's just get right into it. Now, you are the author of Herbie Goes to School.
Correct.
But it's the second installment of the Lil Herbie series. Can you talk to us a little bit about Lil Herbie and the series that you have here?
Yes, Lil Herbie's series book collection is actually geared towards kids. It's geared towards social emotional learning, because we all know that when the kid mind is right, socially, physically, mentally, then they can learn better. And our books is actually geared towards that. It helps kids with self-esteem. Is geared towards anti-bullying and self-confidence.
Okay. All right. Man, look, all those things are very important because,
Yes.
as you said, the socio-emotional part of things, I always say representation matters. And if you can read something, look, you know what, this person's going through the same thing I'm going through, somewhat because of this situation or this situation, and man, once kids have something that they can relate to,
Correct.
it's gold. It's gold.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
All right. Now the age range of these books are between what ages?
Between age to 4 to 10 is more for the elementary school, basically from kindergarten to 5th grade.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Now, why those grades or those ages in particular?
Because I believe that's the foundation. That's when the kid is really being able to first of all start speaking, start visualizing things, start. So I want to start from the elementary level. And then, but the book series is going to go all the way through.
Mm-hmm.
But I believe that you have to start from the bottom to get to the top. So I want to start on the lower level.
Okay. I like that. I like that philosophy. Okay. I like that philosophy. You got to start at the bottom and get to the top, people. That's just how, physics and stuff like that works. Okay.
Learning.
All right. Yes. Learning. Thank you. Now, what I like about the Lil Herbie series is basically Lil Herbie has a speech impediment. He stutters. Okay.
Correct.
And, I'm gonna open my life up just a little bit for y'all out here. I'm gonna be a little book right now. But those are issues I suffered through, in grammar and middle school as well. I had a speech impediment, and I sort of know how, that can affect the person. And through life, look, we talking a long time ago, and, mom couldn't afford therapists or speech pathologists or things of that nature. She couldn't take me, to certain programs to help me get things together. Let's talk about how things like, stuttering and speech impediments can have an effect on your confidence and your lifestyle.
Well, actually, stuttering affected me. And that's one of the issues that I had growing up. It actually, I wouldn't say that it hindered me. I can say that I hindered myself because I had low self-esteem, low self-confidence because of the way I spoke. And that's how I came up with the book series, because reading aloud is what actually helped me to be able to control my stuttering. So stuttering, like I said, it took me a while to actually grasp it. And then when I did grasp it, I was already, in my adulthood, but everything that I went through growing up stuttering is still affected my life and how I went about things throughout my life. So it really affected me. And I wanted to be able to have something that can help the kids at an elementary age, because I don't want them to wait until they get in their 30s to really be able to find themselves like I did.
Right. Well, and, you know, as we said before, well, as I said before, you know, I'm thinking back to when I was, you know, around that age, you know, 10, 11, 12, and I was going through my process of things, and, you know, couldn't afford certain services or what have you. And, you know, as like self-esteem and things of that nature, it wasn't that I wasn't smart, because I knew the answer.
Yes.
Getting that answer out sometimes, you know.
That was the problem.
That was the issue right there, you know. And
I knew what I wanted to say,
right.
but I just couldn't say it. And then having people look at you like, hurry up, having people look at you like they're disgusted. I said to myself, if you're frustrated, imagine how I feel. Here it is. I have something to say, but I can't say it. You know, so I'm more frustrated than you are.
Yeah. Now, that I agree. And, you know, basically, you know, sometimes when we're going through our own personal struggles, we don't really take time out to see that sometimes the people around us have their own personal struggles as well, you know, because we're so focused on us and, you know, our self-esteem and our issues, that if we took time to just take a step back and be like, hey, you know what? This person over here, they're like,
issues too.
They have issues as well, you know, like I'm actually and we talked about this a little bit. I remember times I actually helped a lot of my peers get through school because of certain issues that they had, but because I was so focused on my issue. And I think sometimes, as you said before, the self-esteem and, you know, and let's just be real, you know, kids can be cruel. Okay.
Yes. That's real.
Right? They can give you like,
but kids are kids.
Yeah, kids are kids. And, you know, as we're thinking about certain things, you know, we're not paying attention to those things, but, you know, taking a look back at it, like, you know what? You can do this and you can do that. And I remember having to help you do all sorts of things. But, you know, I just remember 8th grade, I had my little autograph book that they give you at the end of 8th grade, you know, that and the ribbon and all that, you know, what have you. And, you know, just like some of the messages that people were leaving in the book, it wasn't just, you know, like, you know, they were like stuttering as they were writing it out. But, you know, I didn't really take it at the time as teasing, because as I said before, if it wasn't for me, you wouldn't have achieved.
They wouldn't. You know, correct.
Man, look, let's just call it what it is, people. Okay, so some of y'all owe me out there, you know. Need to collect.
Hey, that was time to pay up.
Man, it's time to pay up. Time to pay up. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, as I said before, now I talked about my situation. You know, you talked about your situation as well. But there are people out here. There are parents out here. There are students out here who are going through the same thing. What advice can you give to those, you know, kids and parents, you know, who are going through, you know, these issues? Or, you know, if a child's having an issue in school and they don't have like the resources because they're in a under-resourced area, you know? Right. So what advice can you give to them as to like dealing with, you know, stuttering?
Well, actually, Ty, you know, I grew up in the under-resourced area, and I was raised in a single parent home as well. I was the youngest of 5 kids. And the only resource I had that was free was a book, you know. And I always tell parents, first and foremost, have patience. You know, I mean, because sometimes with someone who stutters, with you yelling and trying to make them get it out, that's hurting them more than helping them, because we're already trying. And to see someone else frustrated and yelling it's just going to make us really more frustrated, you know. So I always tell parents to have patience, especially little kids, have patience, and have kids read out loud instead of quietly to themselves. Because a teacher told me that years ago, but I never did it. But it wasn't until a certain incident happened that made me go home and use that same technique, you know, which is reading out loud. So they can actually encourage their child to actually read more out loud, slow down, you know, just take your time when you are pronouncing certain words, you know, just take your time, you know. I mean, don't rush, you know, because what you have to say is important as well, you know. So just take your time. And for the person who actually stutters, I always tell them, love yourself first. Despite even though we may sound different, it may take us longer to express what we have to say, but at the end of the day, our voice matters just like everyone else's. So, you know, and that comes with building your own self-esteem. Because when you feel good about yourself, it doesn't matter what someone else says, you know, or some of the issues that you may be having. So that's why I work with smaller kids, and I tell them that because I suffered through that, you know. So I always tell them the first and foremost thing is to love yourself, love who you are, and love your voice. Because if you don't love your voice, because I used to hate the tone of my voice. I used to hate to hear myself talk. But embrace how you sound, you know, and love yourself so that everything else it will be easier when you have self-esteem and you love who you are and you accept how you sound.
Oh, I love it. I love it because no, I mean, you know, like I just remember taking books, and sometimes when I would find myself, you know, lost on a word or what have you, I would like long sound it out.
Yeah.
It would sound crazy coming. I'm like, oh my God. But, you know, like the more I did it, okay, like I started to do a little bit more. I started to do a little bit more. I started to do a little bit more. And
I used to sound like a robot.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You know,
when I started it, I used to talk the same way I read because then my word, I could pronounce it. And then, you know, as life went on, I was able to speed up and talk at a normal pace. But I used to talk the same way I read, and people used to look at me like I was crazy, but it was working for me.
And there it is, you know, like, and I don't think that's the thing that people like really understand. Like, you know, we're confident enough to try to fix it ourselves. You know, I mean, of course, we're not like speech pathologists or therapists or anything of that nature, but I mean, we're people. And I know for myself at the end of the day, I just got tired of, you know, like getting so excited that I couldn't even get it out, you know?
Yeah,
like,
I know that feeling.
Like, here we go.
Do what works for you.
Do what works for you. And you know what? Breathing exercises as well, because I think sometimes that attributes to things, you know, like you're like so much in a rush that you're not really breathing correctly and you're not able to get the word out like you need to. So there it is. Okay. All right.
Yes.
Okay. Now, as far as the book series goes, how can people get these books?
Actually visit our website at voicematters.org, and they can visit our store, you know, and we have both of the books. Is Herbie Goes to School is a new book, but then the first book is Herbie's New Home. And so they can visit our website, voicematters.org, and we're also on Amazon as well. So they can buy it off Amazon or visit our website.
Okay, all right. Now you just said Everyone Voice Matters. Okay, so we want to talk about this nonprofit that you have called Everyone Voice Matters. Okay, talk to us about this now. What is all this stuff founded on?
Everyone Voice Matters. Well, it is geared towards kids who stutter, have low self-esteem, lack self-confidence, anti-bullying, and basically anything that actually hinders a child from becoming the best version of themselves. And I founded that nonprofit because of myself and my first grandson. Lil Herbie. So that's what, so my goal is to be out here, to go out there and help kids at a younger age love themselves. You know, and it doesn't matter what they're dealing with, rather be stuttering, low self-esteem, anything that actually hinders a child from becoming the best version of themselves. So I wanted to create a nonprofit that will help kids basically step out this box. Because like myself, I felt like I was in this box, and the only thing that I was able to attach myself to is those four corners. But it wasn't until I was able to step out that box to where as though that I realized it was a whole world out there of opportunities, and that my voice really did matter besides just being in that box. So I want kids to develop that, realize that, so that they can realize that they can be great at a younger age than waiting until they get up my age to realize that they can be great.
Okay, all right. And now, and that's very important because as we said before, a lot of this falls back on self-esteem. And, if we don't, take that time to deal with it and realize that we are, greater than what we think we are, that slows the process tremendously. And as you said, man, instead of like, coming of age, maybe in your preteens or teenage years, sometimes it may, take a little bit longer, your late 20s, 30s.
I was in my 30s.
40s, but we ain't gonna say the age, but
yeah, I ain't gonna say about when I realized it. But it's so crazy because it wasn't until my first grandson, Lil Herbie, and when I had kids, I always prayed that neither one of my kids stutter. I gave birth to 2 kids. And I always prayed that neither one of my kids stutter, because I knew that's something that hindered me. I can deal with, they came out, I don't care, one arm, one leg, just as long as they didn't stutter. Right. I feel like I could have dealt with anything else. And God has blessed me with 2 kids that didn't stutter. But my grandson came. And when I noticed it, I felt like I put that on him. I felt like I let him down, because I noticed he used to do the same thing I used to do. I used to blink my eyes. I used to hit on my legs. I used to do all types of things to trying to say something. And it wasn't until that one day he was trying to say something, and he was like doing the same thing I was doing. He couldn't get it out. And he just stopped and said, "Granny, I can't say it." So when he said it, it was like, I don't know, like a deja vu type thing. It was like I was looking at myself, and I told him, I said, "Yes, you can. Slow down. Take your time." And once he said it, I said, "Don't you ever say that you can't do anything." That's when I walked away. I went in my room and I just cried, because I realized at that moment that I still was doing the bare minimum in life. So how could I tell at this time, my grandson was 5, he's 11 now. Mm-hmm. I was saying, how could I tell a 5-year-old that he can do all things in life? And here I am in my 30s and still just doing the bare minimum. So I couldn't just tell him, I had to show him. So I went back to school, I got my degree, and that's when I formed Everyone Voice Matters, because I said I want to be able to help him. Now I stepped out my box. A 5-year-old little boy is what made me step out my box. I stepped out my box, I formed Everyone Voice Matters, and now I can stand in front of kids who stutter, have low self-esteem, any issue. I can tell them, listen, I'm a children's book author, I'm a national speaker, I'm the founder of Everyone Voice Matters. I'm the founder of Lil Herbie series. I am the creator of Lil Herbie, the mascot, and I'm a certified life coach. So don't y'all tell me that things ain't possible. You talking to somebody who used to take, I feel like, for hours to say a couple of words, to be standing here in front of people, not just in Charleston, South Carolina, but nationally talking to people. So once I did that, now I can look at him and say, okay, grandson, what is it you want to do? And feel confident when I'm asking him that.
That's it. So look, I know, because it's wonderful, because that's your inspiration and you're his inspiration. And I'm just thinking back to me, like, and you can attest to this as well. Like, coming up, who did we have to go to feel inspired, about, things that were going on? And you know, unfortunately, I didn't have that, you know, but still at the end of the day, the mindset was, you know, no, like, okay, you're not dumb. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like you don't understand anything. It's just getting it
I have a hard
out.
time saying it.
Right. It's just,
I felt like I was the only person growing up. I felt like I never heard anyone that sounded like me. So I always felt like the oddball out, you know, and it made me, so I used to have my sister and my brother actually talk for me. So even when I would act out in school, it wasn't because I didn't know the lesson. It's because I was afraid to say it. And I didn't want everybody else to know that I talk like that. So I always tell people, when the kid is doing something and something's wrong, find out, you know, it might be something deeper, because I was one of those kids. And like I say, I was in a single family home. My mother did her best, but it was just something we had less than other kids. And put on top of that, I had a speech impediment. So I did other things to actually hide that. But I felt like I was in the world by myself, even though I'm sure other people was out there. But the way I felt, I was in this world by myself and nobody sounded like me. And I always wondered, like, why do I talk like that? I just didn't understand it. You know, so.
Sherrika, let me tell you something right now. I just remember, like, you know, little jokes. And I think that's where I get my wit from sometimes, because you already knew kids already had something to say. You already knew they were going to come at you. So I had to be prepared for a comeback, you know.
Correct.
And that got me in trouble. You know what I'm saying?
Me too.
Man, I'm not gonna front. Like, you know, that will get the name on the board. That will get the phone call home. That will get like the progress report. Oh God, those progress reports. You know, that will get the progress report sent home. Like, oh no, this isn't because of his grades. This is because of his behavior. You know, he's XYZ in class. You know, you know, he wants to be little Eddie Murphy in class, you know.
Yes, I know. I've been there.
For y'all out there who don't know what Eddie Murphy is, you know. But anyway, but no. So yeah, like, and you know, like as I said before, I think it's wonderful that you know, you have your grandson and he has you, and you all can fall on each other, and it's that special bond.
Yes,
it's that special bond. It's just not Granny's baby now. It's that special bond, okay?
Yes, it is.
All right.
Yes, it is.
Okay. Oh, 'cause you know,
and now he has a mascot that looks like him. You know, so people always thought, when I named Lil Herbie, they always thought, okay, that represents him. It looks like him. But the real Lil Herbie is the child that I carried inside of me for so long. And I decided to finally birth him. And I named it after my inspiration, which is my grandson, Lil Herbie. So that's how we came up with the Lil Herbie series.
Okay. All right. Okay. Now, as far as like, you know, as events and things of that nature, what are some events that you put on?
Oh gosh. Put a lot of events. I do my yearly back to school event here in Charleston, South Carolina. We do it every year. We give away 1,000 book bags filled with school supplies. We have different speakers out there. We have game trucks, jump castles. We have free food and things like that. I put on an event so that in certain area, in this area, where as though that some of the kids are raised in single family household. So I want to not only provide them with school supplies and book bags, go back to school, but I want to provide them with an experience, you know, to where as though that some kids' family don't have the money to take them on trips throughout the summer. So we bring in different, or like one year we had That Girl Lately. And I mean, and she performed. So these kids can go back to school and also have something to brag on. Oh, we've been to this concert, you know, and we provide them with the book bags, with school supplies and great speakers. You know, we actually do that every year. We have our coat drive every year in December. We give away 500 to 600 brand new coats to kids in the low income areas. We do our pop-up Santa in Walmart. Whereas though we don't advertise that because we just pop up inside Walmart, and we surprise up to 10 to 20 families with up to $100 in free Christmas gifts for kids, rather be gifts or food. You know, they can spend it on what whatever they want to spend it on. But we just walk around Walmart and we just basically come up to them. And we didn't do it last year because of COVID, but we just surprised up to 10 to 20 families during Christmas. We also, when COVID hit, we did our Lil Herbie virtual school. We had Monday through Friday. We had Mondays, it was math. Tuesday, it was like fun TikTok. Wednesday, it was STEM. Thursday, it was reading time with Lil Herbie. And Friday, we had virtual field trips. And so, and we had several people coming on, like the mayors came on, chief of police. We had that teacher out of Charlotte, North Carolina, who did the handshakes with the kids. He came on and speak to the kids. And then our virtual field trip was like learning field trips, like at the police station, the fire department, just different areas. And we actually host different Zoom events for kids nationwide. I do a lot with kids. We do reading fairs with my book. Right now, we are hosting a nationwide reading book tour for the series, where so that our goal is to go in different areas in different states and get sponsors to sponsor books for kids in the low income areas, and we give them away to the kids in those areas. And we bring our mascot out. He does a dance. We do that. I go inside schools nationwide. We have this program. It's called CLASS, Core Life Academic Social Skills, and we talk to the kids about low self-esteem, anti-bullying. Just bringing awareness, different things. And Lil Herbie has this dance. He comes out and do the Lil Herbie shuffle. I do a whole lot.
Okay.
I have a YouTube channel for kids. Oh, okay. Animated YouTube channel for kids. We have different words of the day. We have the words, the definition, and then Lil Herbie shows an example of the word being used. And I'm also in the process of developing our Lil Herbie series learning app. That won't be until the beginning of next year.
Okay. Look, hey y'all, she worked.
So we have a lot.
Well, man, look. That is a lot, but at the end of the day, you're on a mission, so it's for the culture, and it's basically to, instill in those people, crusader. I know I mentioned that to you before, but you are on a crusade, okay? You are a crusader. Okay?
But what I think is, when you lack so much growing up, it's so many things I wish I had. So my team always tell me, Sherrika, you do so much, but you know what? I always tell them it's so much to do. There's so many kids out there, and I always tell them, I said, if you don't start, then you can't finish. So we have to start. So it's so many things I want to do because with all kids, but especially kids that grew up in neighborhoods like I grew up in situations like I grew up in. So I want to be able to encourage them. There's so much going on in the world, and all over the world, but some of these low income areas, kids feel like they don't have a chance. I came from those areas, and I want to show them that you do have a chance. And just because you're there, that doesn't mean that you have to stay there. It's still a chance. So that's why I do so much. And people ask if I'm tired. Tell you the truth, tired. I'm not tired. I feel like I'm not doing enough because there's so many kids out there. And it's like, and I can go on for days because this something that I really feel. I say I want to reach kids all over. I'm in the process also of I want to open up Everyone Voice Matter and Enrichment Academy. So we're after school and summer. So we won't just be doing homework. We're doing assessments so that we can assess the kids and get them where they need to be at. When COVID hit, so many of our kids lacked. They didn't, and some of them was already behind. So the Enrichment Center will build different, just and help them educate themselves. Reading, financial literacy, mental health, the things that I believe that we should have had growing up. If we was taught how much saving or how much money you can make if you save this and go, teach a child to do something at an early age. And then that's why I implement reading, because we can read a book to a child. they listening. But when you teach them how to read, that's giving them the ability to go out there and learn on their own. So it's so many different things. I mean, so I'm not tired. I be hyped up all the time. People be like, sure, I be hyped up all the time.
Well, look, let me just say this, because you really never know whom you're affecting, because as you said, man, you can go on and on and on and on, but man, these students you're affecting, like, you are really, like, man, changing their world, like doing a 180 into someone brand new that sometimes they probably thought they like, hey, you know what? I can do this. Man, this is me. Man, watch me go out here and do this as well. Yeah. And that's a chain reaction, and you never know. They start their own, and when someone asks them, hopefully it's, me or whatever, or another person, like me with their own show or what have you, asking, well, how did you, come about doing all this? It will all go back to Miss Sherrika Myers. Yeah. Man, everyone voice matters. You know what I'm saying? Lil Herbie series, all these things, they play a part, because as we say, representation matters. And if there's someone out here like me, man, I may not have the speech impediment. I may have something else, but because this person is going through something and they're prospering through and they're championing through that, I can do that as well. And let me go out here and, spread that same message to, those who are around as well. So.
And I always tell the kids, Ty, you know what? Ain't nothing wrong with failing. No. You can fail as many times as you want, as long as you don't stay down there. I done failed so many times. Fail so many times. I done heard so many people say, Sherrika, that won't work. I didn't heard it all. But you know what? I'd be like, all right, if it's something I believe in, and I know, I'm like, okay, I'm not failing. I'm learning how not to do it. So, okay, try it this way. Especially if I believe in it. If I believe in it, and I mean, I've failed a lot of times, but I didn't stop. I just, okay, well, I can't do it that way because obviously it's not right because I failed that. Let me try it this way. That's not right. Let me try it this way. I mean, it's a way. It's a way to make it work, especially if it's something that you truly, but believe in.
I hear that. And look, let me just say this, they're not failures. They're lessons. Okay.
Correct. That's what
I try to tell kids all the time. I'm like, look, don't be thinking like, oh, you took an L. Yes, you took a lesson. Okay.
Yes.
You took a lesson and you learned from that lesson. All right. Now, whether or not you apply what you've learned from that lesson to whatever it is you're doing, that's on you. But don't call it a failure because it's a lesson. I mean, man, you learned something in the process.
Yes, that's so true. You're right.
Look here, man. I'm all about that positivity now. Man, I'm all about it. Trust me. I didn't have, like you, I've had to hear the negativity, like, oh man, what you want to do that for? Ain't nobody gonna listen. Ain't nobody gonna do this. Ain't nobody gonna do that. Okay, well, you know what? Let me find that out.
Let me find that out. You're right.
So
I heard the same thing about my mascot. Yeah, so I know.
Look, I tell people, there's something to learn from being hard-headed. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Something to learn from not listening, right? It's not a good thing, but I'm just saying.
No, I mean, it's not.
You have to listen to everything. Like,
right, you know what I'm saying? Like, it depends on the context sometimes, but ain't nothing wrong with being hard-headed sometimes when people telling you, oh, da-da-da. Yeah. Okay, you know what I'm going to do?
It's called determined. No, but Taya, it's called determined, not hard-headed. So we can try to. There's nothing wrong with being determined.
Ain't nothing wrong with being determined, okay? I like that. Okay. Now, look, if people want to get in contact with you, I know you said, everyone voice matters, but is that how people get in contact with you on social media as well?
Well, social media, I have several different social media platforms. They can get me on Instagram at Everyone Voice, and then on Facebook at Everyone Voice Matters, and also on Instagram at LIL_Herbie_series, SERIES, and then also on Facebook, Lil Herbie series, and on my website, everyonevoicematters.org. They can go in and they'll be able to see all our programs. They can actually donate from the website. Everything is there on our website. But I'm asking everybody to follow us on Instagram at Everyone Voice and also on Facebook at Everyone Voice Matters. And to tell those kids to follow and subscribe to our Lil Herbie series YouTube channel as well.
Okay, look here, people. 1,000 subscribers on this YouTube, 10,000 subscribers on this Instagram, people. Man, always trying to go higher than that. But we know once it reaches those plateaus, we already know what time it is, okay? So look, subscribe, help, because this is us. And I know there's someone out here that can use those words of encouragement, that need to see, and need to read the Lil Herbie series. And you parents, seriously, go there, check it out. Stop denying, yourself and your child, certain like tools, to help them get better because of, I'm just gonna say it, this is an unpopular opinion, but ego. Okay? Because let's not get it twisted. Sometimes some of these parents out here don't want to take these steps because they don't want to admit certain things, about their child. And it's more about them sometimes than it is about the child. And I don't think that's cool. So I'm just saying, that's my unpopular opinion. Other than that, yes, subscribe, like, subscribe, comment, do all that good stuff. All right. There you go. Now, Miss Sherrika Myers, I've already used my word for you. Okay. And I'm going to use it again because I'm going to put another word in front of that word. But what is the one word that best describes you and why?
Unstoppable. And unstoppable describes me because I've had so many things thrown at me. Mm-hmm. I have dealt with so many challenges. I have had people turn me down over and over again. But I never gave up. I kept going. Nothing can stop me. If it's something I want to do, I'm determined to do it. So nothing can stop me. I persevered through everything else, and I will continue to persevere through whatever may come my way. So I say unstoppable.
Okay. So look here. I've said crusader. All right. But I'm going to put another word in front of that crusader. Sometimes, we use passionate, but I'm going to use fiery. Okay. Fiery crusader, because there's a fire inside that burns, that's driving this, and you're on a crusade to get, people, children, get that esteem up. Look, if there's something that people are telling you that you can't do because of, this disability or this or what have you, prove all those people wrong. Go out there and do it because you have it within you to do it, And I just love that about you because you have, look, as you said, I didn't have all these things coming up, but man, just because I didn't have them coming up doesn't mean I can't provide all these kids over here the opportunity to have these things as well. So, man, I'm doing all this, man. It's just like Wu-Tang, ladies and gentlemen. It's for the kids, okay? Wu-Tang is for the kids. Sherrika Myers is for the kids, okay? All right? Even though she ain't a part of Wu-Tang, that's all right. You know what I'm saying? She's still for the kids. All right, there it is.
Yes.
I'm a fool sometimes, y'all. Don't mind.
That's okay. It's all right.
But that's all right. But no, look. I thank you, seriously. I thank you. I thank you for being my guest. I thank you for coming on here, sharing your words with us. Man, Lil Herbie series, ladies and gentlemen, okay? Everyone voice matters, all right? Lil Herbie goes to school, all right? Get it, read it, talk to your kids about it, listen to them. They may have something to say about it. Engage in conversation, because that only helps, So go out there and do it. Support. And on that note, I have been your host, Ty Brownlow. This is Word with Ty Brownlow. Remember, no one is worthless. No story is worthless. Follow me on all social media platforms at Word with Ty Brownlow, or go to my website, tybrownlow.com. Get this wonderful conversation plus other great conversations as well. Miss Sherrika Myers, excuse me. I thank you. Thank you.
I thank you.
Thank you. All right.
Thank you.
We out, people. Peace.